Good morning, church. This coming Sunday, well, first off, this coming Sunday we'll have the actual meeting with Pizza and the pastor afterwards. I made that mistake. It just sat in my head that was last Sunday, but it's this Sunday and next Sunday. Anyway, other than the pizza with the pastor, um, you can. This Sunday it marks Pentecost, the birthday of the church, when the Holy Spirit descends on the upper room disciples, and they come out and they've got the gift of speaking in so many languages and everyone hears the gospel being proclaimed. It is a gorgeous uh, story about standing on the edge of something, looking into of a time in your life, standing on this pinnacle, and then that first step forward. Whatever was before, now you are moving into this new thing. And it's great that it's in spring. I'm not surprised liturgically that it lands in spring because this is always that time for stepping into a new thing. You've got kids walking out of that old grade or graduating and they're no longer in school and they're stepping into this first summer, which are the first days of their next grade, or they're stepping out into that next phase of life. Parents of graduates, you are, you no longer have a student in your house, or, you know, however that plays out. But you're one step closer to seeing these kids, these rockets getting launched. And it's also supposed to be informative of when this happens, in the middle of winter, right? When you get that new job, when you have to learn that new skill, when that new person in your life turns everything upside down. Yeah. And not always necessarily for the good. Sometimes news and new chapters, new seasons of your life can be hard. And they're not all celebration in the streets with gifts of the Holy Spirit. Sometimes it's quiet or there's absence, grief, grief that you've lost what was, because the new thing coming you're not necessarily uh, looking forward to, right? I remember that year of firsts after you've lost someone. Man, it's the wrong kind of Pentecost. Or maybe something so foundational has happened and everything changes. I remember when I graduated seminary, I'm in my last chapel service. And I, they recognized our graduates of the seminary. And the chapel, we were singing Amazing Grace. Side thing, one of my fellow students was actually blind, and she taught me so much about um, ableness, like and being able-bodied and that privilege of it. And in particular with Amazing Grace, she always changed the lyrics, am blind and still can't see. Hilarious. Anyway, we got to the verse, 'twas grace that brought me safe thus far, and grace will lead me home. And as that verse approached, all I could think of was my whole time in California, my time in DC, uh, the church that I served, all of the friends, next girlfriend, the life threatening experience, the life endangerment experience I had on a trip, um, getting to seminary, graduating college. I was thinking about all of this and I was so overwhelmed. Was 'twas grace that brought me safe thus far. And then I'm looking in ahead and I'm looking into, I knew I was going back to Minnesota. I knew which church, but I didn't know the church. Like I know the name. I met 5, 6 people from it, but 'twas grace that brought me safe thus far, and grace will lead me home. I don't know where home is necessarily. at that time, but I believed that that which had brought me thus far would bring me to that next step. And that's what we get to do. I mean, whether you are facing a new time, a new season, a new chapter in your life, for good or for ill, if you get to celebrate that high school is done, if you are grieving that you don't know what the next day holds, what this next chapter holds, what being newly single holds, whether by choice or it was on you, 'twas grace that brought you safe thus far. It is by grace that you are this far. And I pray that that same grace carries you to this next phase. Whether that's baptism on Sunday, whether that's graduate recognition on Sunday, whether that's coming to have pizza with me on Sunday, totally. Um, I hope to see you then.